Welcome to this experiment on calibration of voltmeter using sphere gap assembly. In this experiment, the major components that are involved are power supply coming through the cascade transformers. In high voltage engineering laboratory, we are able to provide a maximum voltage of up to 100 kV through a two-stage cascade transformer assembly. Here you can see I am standing inside the cage meant for installation of sphere gap assembly, and I have ensured that all the components of this assembly, they are de-energized, and so also they have been grounded properly from any presence of any static charges. So while we perform the experiments on sphere gap and this high voltage assembly, we are supposed to stand outside the cage and ensuring that all the norms are followed, safety norms, and then remotely the operation is controlled from the control panel. So the control panel is outside the cage. That will be explained in a separately at a later stage. Please observe that here this one is the first transformer. The transformer is having an input voltage rating of 230 volts, and the output voltage it can provide single phase is a 50 kilovolts, 50 kV. This output from this first stage transformer, you can see this is a first stage transformer. It's an oil filled type of transformer. The transformer is inside the tank, and this is a transformer bushing, and these are the terminals brought out. Output of the first phase, first stage transformer, single phase, it will be connected to the second stage. Okay, so output of first stage transformer becomes the reference potential for the second stage transformer. So second stage transformer, it has got similar ratings. Input voltage is 230 volts and output voltage is 50 kV. But the difference, you can clearly note down that this first stage transformer is installed at the ground potential. Its tank is at the reference or ground potential, while the second stage transformer, this has been installed on fiber platform. This platform, it provides an isolation of 50 kV because the tank of the second transformer, it is to be maintained at the output voltage of first stage. Output voltage of first stage is 50 kV, and reference potential of the second stage, that is a tank potential, is 50 kV. So first stage providing 50 kV, the secondary of first stage will come in series with the secondary of the second stage transformer. So 50 kV plus another 50 kV. So together the output voltage that can be generated using this cascade transformer, cascade connected transformer, is 100 kV maximum. This is a single phase. Now apart from this, kindly note down that the terminal leads which are brought out, all the terminal leads which are brought out of this high voltage transformer, step up transformer, they are having spherical caps mounted on them in order to have a uniform electric field distribution. This being a high voltage terminal, so the corona discharges or ionization phenomena can be minimized while the testing happens with respect to these transformers. Similarly, here on the 100 kV output side, the final voltage that will be coming, this is a transformer bushing. Here we are going to get the net voltage of 100 kV with respect to the ground potential. individual output of this transformer is 50 kV, but this 50 kV coming in series with the 50 kV from the first stage, we get 100 kV. This will be connected to through a thin conductor all the way to the upper electrode of the sphere gap. So that sphere gap, it is partly visible here in our frame, right? So the output is coming all the way from the cascade transformer to the sphere gap. So this is the sphere gap assembly. There are two electrodes. These are made up of brass, right? This is the upper electrode. Upper electrode is mounted on a holder, right, and is insulated. This is the insulating stand to which the upper electrode is fixed. The position of the upper electrode can be adjusted by using these bolts. So once this position of the upper electrode is fixed, right, the position of the lower electrode can be measured with respect to position of upper electrode through a dial at the bottom. So that bottom, again we are going to consider the high voltage that is appearing to the upper electrode of the sphere gap assembly. It is coming through a high resistance. Okay, so this high resistance is also mounted here in order to limit the current that will result during the failure or during the spark across the electrodes. Let us check with the sphere gap assembly. Already I have told that there are two electrodes, spherical electrodes. The diameter of these individual electrodes is 10 centimeters, and both these electrodes, the upper electrode is fixed to an insulated stand, right, and it is connected to the high voltage terminal output coming from the cascade transformer that we have seen earlier. So the output voltage will be connected, high voltage output is connected to the upper electrode, and then there is a sphere gap, there is a air gap in between these two, and then this is the second electrode, that is a lower electrode. This is connected to a motorized control along with a position showing dial. There is a motorized controller inside which is able to adjust the spacing between the two electrodes. Upper electrode is fixed, but the spacing between the two electrodes, that is the air gap spacing, can be adjusted by vertically adjusting the position of lower electrode. So this lower electrode is connected to a motorized panel. The position of this lower electrode can be controlled by controlling the voltage supplied to this motor inside. So this motor, the control for this motor is outside the cage where we have the control panel. There is also a separate small wired remote through which we adjust the voltage and hence adjust the position of this electrode by pressing up and down switches on that remote, and the exact position can be seen from this particular analog dial. This dial is visible from a distance of 1.5 or 2 meters from the position outside the cage. This dial is able to show the position in terms of millimeters. Up to 100 millimeters spacing can be adjusted with respect to this particular dial. So the minimum division that is available on this dial is 0.5 millimeter. So it is showing 10, 20, 30, 40. So in all 100 millimeters can be shown with a resolution of 0.5 millimeter. Apart from this, now I would like to show here that this is a grounding rod. Please pay attention that this is a grounding rod. This grounding rod, it has got a metal terminal brought out here, and then this is the insulating rod, and then fiberglass handle for personnel to hold it. This particular metal, it has got a connection. There are solidly grounded connection. So these wires are grounded through the earth pit. There are 3 earth pits provided. 3 earthings, solid earthings are provided for this whole assembly. And whenever we work on the high voltage laboratory experiments, before entering into the cage, there is a practice to de-energize the circuit, to disconnect the supply, and to ground all the metallic objects. Like here I am touching this one. So this will be grounded, this will be grounded. All metal parts, these are connected to the ground in order to discharge any static charges present on it due to the previous or earlier performance. We have already seen the assembly inside the cage, the high voltage cascade transformers, right? And so also the spear gap assembly and the settings that are there for adjusting the spacing between the electrodes. So dial and all that. So now we are standing outside the cage. Here you can see that this is a metal cage, right? This metal cage is surrounding this whole assembly on 2 sides, as remaining 2 sides it's a wall, right? So this assembly is a complete enclosure right up to the ceiling of this particular room, because whenever we are working with the high voltage experiments and we are applying high voltages, a very strong electric field is present, and this field has a capability to ionize the nearby objects. So that's why this cage is a safety feature. It is connected to, it is solidly grounded, so that whatever the electric fields are emerging from the high voltage terminal while working on this experiment, they will be getting discharged through this cage, and the personnel who is working outside and other objects which are present, other equipments, they will not be affected. Now in this particular experiment, we have to understand that basically this experiment is about calibration of voltmeters for measuring the high voltages. So generally the voltages which are measured in day-to-day basis or what are available in substations, common voltmeters, they are able to measure voltages up to, let us say, 700, 750 volts or 1000 volts. Higher than this, the normal power frequency voltages, they can be measured in the labs or in the substations, power stations, electrical power systems by using potential transformers. So in the steady state, the potential transformers, they will be stepping down the voltages, and voltage of up to 0 to 1000 volts will be applied. The voltmeter can be calibrated to measure the high voltages. But at the same time, if we are supposed to measure the voltages which are normally experienced with respect to the testing of insulators in high voltage laboratories, like the impulse voltages or transient voltages of high frequency, and so also the lightning over voltages, right? All such voltages, even like a DC voltages or impulsive these voltages that are induced across the insulators, power system, the transmission line insulators due to over voltages, these require special measurements. Consequently, there has to be the calibration of voltmeters for measuring such impulse voltages. So naturally, the method which is adopted here is known as a spear gap. There is a standard breakdown strength of air gap across the spherical electrodes, which is categorized as a reference, and it can be used for calibrating a voltmeter. So what we do is we adjust the spacing between the electrode to a standard distance, let us say maybe 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 5 millimeter, 7 millimeter, or 1 centimeter, like this, and corresponding to that spacing we apply the unknown voltage which is to be calibrated for measurement using this particular control panel. So the voltage is applied through the cascade transformers, and a standard spacing is set between the spherical electrodes. As the voltage is applied, what we observe is that at one particular value of voltage there will be a spark across the spherical electrodes. So that potential at which the spark occurs, this indicates the ionization potential of the air gap column, right? So these readings are taken repeatedly for the same distance, and let us say if 5 out of 5 readings they are coming out to be same, then it is considered that the gap is consistently breaking at that particular potential. The adjustment of spacing between the electrodes can be done using this particular remote. So this is not a wireless remote, rather this is a wired remote which is having control over the amount of voltage that can be applied to a motor which is installed for adjustment of the position of lower spherical electrode. So it has got various columns. Okay, it has mainly 2 buttons. Once energized, there is a power supply. So there are only 2 buttons, up button and down button. I can push this switch and hence adjust the spacing of the electrodes, and it will be adjusted. Okay. Now please focus the attention on this particular spacing of the electrode. Now I am trying to increase the spacing by using that remote that I have shown you earlier. I am going to set this spacing to 10 millimeters. I am going to adjust this spacing to 10 millimeters or 1 centimeter. So kindly focus. The lower electrode is gradually moving as we are controlling the position. Here, okay, you can see that the spacing is increasing, right? So this way, so this spacing, this is a 1 centimeter spacing is set between the 2 electrodes, right? Now we are going to check this same settings that are visible from the dial, and that can be seen from the position outside the cage itself. Let us observe that. Let us check the same phenomena as we adjust the spacing between the electrodes. You can see the gradually as voltage is applied, the spacing between the electrode is reflected by a large dial. We are observing this dial from outside the cage itself. So spacing we are setting up to 10 millimeters. So you can clearly see that 10 is written on the dial. So spacing is now set. Now the next thing is that once the standard spacing is set between the 2 electrodes, we are now going to check with the procedure to find out the spark over voltage. We have already seen the arrangement of cascade transformers, and then sphere gap assembly, and then all the assembly that is there inside the cage. And so also we have seen how we stand outside the cage closer to this particular control panel, and the control panel, it has got the settings, various sections of this particular control panel. You can see the first and foremost that there is a switch here, that is a MCB. Apart from the switch, there is a key control here on the left hand side. So these keys are actually sort of a safety feature. For the safety purpose, the key type of input is required. Unless the keys are there, no one will be able to switch the high voltage supply. So apart from the MCB here at the front, there is key control for enabling this particular panel, right? The two sections of these panels here, you can see that this part, there are various indicators and switches. Mainly this setup is very similar to what we have seen in case of the solid insulation tester that we have studied earlier. The left hand side of this panel, it's mainly the mains supply is a 230 volt coming to this unit. So whether that supply is available and the enabling the mains supply. So this is a mains unit here, right? So this is a mains on switch, this is a mains off switch. Mains on green switch, the mains off, it's a red switch. Then next is when the unit is ready, that is when the supply is available and everything is in place. So the unit ready, this will be active, right? This unit ready is very important, as we have to check several conditions before we supply the power to the unit. The extreme left hand side, you can see that there is a door open knob, the door open indicator here. It's a red indicator. Generally, before supplying the high voltage to the spear gap assembly, we must ensure that the corona cage door is closed. So this is a door interlocking switch. There is an arrangement. Unless and until this cage is closed, right, this indicator will not get dim. If the door is open, it will show red and the unit ready will not be visible. Unless and until we close the door, then only we will be able to switch on the supply and it will show unit ready. Now let us come to the middle part of this particular control panel. Here you can see that these are HT off and HT on switches. See, HT off, high tension or high voltage switch off, it's a green, and HT on, as usual, it's shown as a red color, because when we work on high tension or high voltage, the red color shows the alertness. So HT on is a red color switch. So all these at the bottom, these are the switches, and all these here, they are at the top, they are the indicator lamps. These are the lamps. Okay, these are the switches. Apart from HT on, HT off, and mains on, mains off, here this is a memory switch. If the sample fails, like we have seen in the solid insulator test, so memory switch will be able to memorize the observation based on the position of the variac that were used for setting the voltage. So HT on, HT off switches and their indicators are visible here. Now next, an important control is this green and yellow. These both are switches. Okay, the upper switch is to increase the voltage applied to the transformer output. Transformer output, this can be increased control. So this is a motorized control. A low voltage variac is connected, present under this control panel. It sets the primary voltage of cascade transformers, excitation voltage of cascade transformer. So as we increase this voltage, the transformer output will also increase. This is a decrease button. So we decrease the input side or primary side low voltage of the transformer. So there is a tap changing control which is a motorized one. By pressing this switch, we actually adjust the position of a motorized tap changer on the input side of the cascade transformers. So voltage applied to the cascade transformer through a variac available here inside this control panel, it can be adjusted by using these two switches. Then rest of the switches on the right hand side, they are sample pass, sample fail, then overload trip, right, and leakage current selector. There are 3 ranges here, and then this larger switch, this is a emergency reset. Whenever there is something wrong with the unit, or some fire hazard or something goes that is unexpectedly failure, okay, so in that case this has to be pressed, and the whole supply will be disconnected for the purpose of safety of personnel as well as the equipment. The upper level indication, again very similar to the solid insulation tester. Left hand side, the input voltage, variable input voltage, it's shown from 0 to 300 volts single phase, and the second one is a output voltage available across the cascade transformer. So it can show it is showing from 0 to 100 kV, maximum 100 kV can be produced. And third one is a leakage current, and this is a timer setting and the timer controller switch. For the purpose of this particular experiment of calibrating voltmeter, our main focus will be on noting the observations that are shown by this particular charging voltage or the output voltage of cascade transformer, which is reflected when there is a spark over across the air gap for a set amount of spacing. We have already set the spacing to be 10 millimeter. Right, and now we are going to switch on the power supply. So I'll just tell you, the procedure is very similar. First of all, the mains MCB switch is switched on, then the key is positioned to the on state. So we can see that it indicates a red lamp glowing. It's a mains off. That means we have not yet turned on the mains, right? So mains off, and at the same time this one is also glowing, okay. This shows HT is off, mains is off, HT terminal output is off. Now we put the mains on switch. As soon as I put the mains on switch, it shows that unit is ready. At the same time, it is showing that the door open, indicator is glowing. The main reason for this to be glowing is that because we have shunted this particular switch, because we have not connected the limit switch to the cage, and hence still it is showing unit ready. Although this is on, but she is showing unit ready because that has been looped out, because no switch is connected at present on the cage. Now let us move ahead. It shows unit is ready, so we can now put the HT on switch. When we place HT on, we want to apply the high voltage. Now let us press HT on. So you can see this red indicator is now glowing. It indicates that now we are ready to apply high voltage. Initially this observation is showing 0 voltage being applied. We have to press the increase voltage switch so that the voltage tends to rise. So see, as I press, so this is the increase switch. I am pressing this and this voltage will increase. There is an increase in this voltage. While I am increasing this, you have to focus your attention on the dial. You can see that the voltage is increasing. We have to increase it further gradually. Instead of pressing it continuously, we press it in a short intervals. You can see here the voltage has now reached a potential of 40 kV. So again we are increasing, right? Spacing is set to 10 millimeter. We increase further, we increase further, we increase. So now it is reaching 70 kV. It is reaching now. Further I am increasing to reach 80 kV. So here, as we have reached a potential of nearly 92 kV, there is a noise heard in the video. You can clearly see that the sphere gap has been ionized and current is flowing through the ground through the high resistance. So the 1 centimeter gap or 10 millimeter gap, okay, it has failed at a potential of 92 kV. Now again, before moving ahead and adjusting the spacing between the electrode, what we have to do is, after noting down the observation, we have to decrease this voltage gradually by pressing the lower switch or the decrease switch. You can see that this particular potential is going down to 0, and once it is reduced to 0, right, again we have to switch off the supply, right, by pressing HT off, right, and once it is pressed HT off, okay, and then we have to press the mains off switch. So supply is disconnected, and what we have to do is turn off the key, and again go for adjusting the spacing between the two electrodes to a new value, and repeating this procedure in order to obtain the spark over voltage. Now we are also going to see how the spark over takes place across the sphere gap assembly for the given setting that we have used earlier. It was a 10 millimeter spacing, so voltage of 92 kV was required at that point, and consequently as a result of that there was a spark over. So please pay attention and listen to the, observe as well as listen. Okay, so here you can see the spark over is taking place across the sphere gap for a defined spacing. So this voltage will be compared with the standard potential for a given sphere diameter and given atmospheric condition.